Hananiel.
Hananiel.
Hanan.
Hanan. Okay. Hanan, welcome. All right, Rabotai, there's a rabbi by the name of Rabbi Meir Cohen. He brought a unbelievable story from the from the Maggid of Dubno. And I want to hear your take on it. There was a very big, a very rich guy. I'm not speaking about nowadays. Let's say around 300 years ago, filthy rich, and he had a lot of money that he needed to transfer. Back then, they didn't have like you have today Brinks, where people carry guns, where they're going to transfer your money. So he had one devoted worker that said, I'll take care of it. Okay? He said, listen, I'll do it in a way nobody's going to know. Somebody found out that the money is going to be transferred. We speak at least, I don't know, a few $1 million easy. And the guy was making the transfer, so somebody found out about it, and he figured out a plan how to scheme him, how to steal it from him. So remember, today you have Brinks, where you have security guards. Back then it was him by himself. I mean, maybe he had one or two people, but that doesn't play a very big role. So one of the guys said, there is a way how I can go out and take the money without him noticing it. He went to a very expensive store. It was in London, in England. He went to a very expensive store, and he said, I need to buy a suit for my boss. Say, okay, I'll give you a suit. How much are you looking to spend? Whatever it is, it's for my boss. It's his birthday tomorrow. I need to buy him a suit. He's like, look, I have suits ranging from 5,000 to 40,000 to 50,000 to 100,000. Tell me what you want. I want the best. It's for my boss. Okay, the guy says, fine, we're going to get you the best. When can your boss come in so we can take the proper measurements? The shoulders, the length, everything, the whole 9 yards. He's like, I don't think you understand. I'm trying to get it to him as a present, and he's not supposed to know about it. It's like, listen, you want an expensive suit without having to try it on somebody? How can I do it? I can't do that. He's like, just give me an average suit. Don't worry about it. The owner says, listen, whatever it's going to be, I'm not going to be able to sell it to you because I need to at least, have an idea of what kind of body figure the guy has. At that moment, the worker was passing by. So he tells the guy, he says, 1 second, I think I can help you. He goes to the worker. Now remind you, his car is full with money. You hear?
Yeah.
He goes, he stops him, and because he knows his money has, he knows the car has money. He pulls him over. He says, look, I need your advice. I need to get a suit. I can't get the boss's measurement. You look something like him. Please come in. Let them take the measurement. So he's like, I can't do it. Listen, I have a very big package. He's like, listen, 2 minutes. Somebody has to come and let him just see you. So the guy says, something is for my boss. Why not? What's the worst that's going to happen?
That can happen.
So he goes inside the store. So the guy says, you see me? And he runs out of the store to go back to the car. The guy says, 1 second, it doesn't work. Let me take a measurement. Let me put on a suit. Let me see which suit fits you. So he goes, he puts on pants, he puts on the suit. He turns around to start measuring him. The friend runs into the car, basically breaks into the car, takes the car, and he bounces with all the money in it. Now this guy runs after him, but the owner stops him from running. So hey, you're wearing a very expensive suit. You can't come out with that from here. So he holds him back. Long story short, he lost all the money that his boss gave him. Who is at fault in this story?
Who's at fault? The money.
Who is the fault? Remember, they're both workers. It's just one is more trustworthy than the other, and the other one came out. Jeff, welcome. And the other one came out to deceive him. Who's at fault in the story?
So we had a very similar story that you brought up early on, right? The story regarding the menorah.
With the menorah, with the child, correct. But over here, it's a little bit more of an ethical lesson. Over here, it's a little bit more of a powerful lesson.
he was deceived.
Say it again.
The first employee was deceived by the second employee.
Correct.
So is the first employee responsible?
I mean, what the second employee did is 100% wrong. But how right was it of the first employee, the trustworthy employee, that was out on a job to do a very big, to deliver a cash load of money to another location? How smart was it of him to stop and to take that break, even for 2 minutes? I mean, I don't know if you ever see how the Brinks works. You have guns,
They don't stop.
They don't stop. They don't care who you are. Salman, what do you think? The first guy, the first employee, the trustworthy one, was he correct in his decision making?
I think it's not his fault. I think it's the boss's fault.
Why is it the boss's fault?
Because he gave him the money.
But I gave you the money. This is what you work for. You work for
That's your job.
That's your job.
Literally,
From place to place.
If for that, you wouldn't have a job.
So then the guy's fault? I mean, he lost the money. I mean, I guess you could say it's his fault.
I mean, what do you think, Jack? What do you think of such a person?
I'm sorry, I was a little disconnected. Can you just sum it up for me really quick?
If you had the first employee who was trustworthy, took his eyes off the cash for 2 minutes, was it smart of him or not?
I mean, yeah, mistakes happen. I mean,
Mistakes happen, not for a few $1 million. I mean, not for a large amount of money.
so he took his eyes off the prize and somebody took it.
He went.
Give me a quick recap.
He went to put on the suit for his boss. On the contrary, he wanted to help his boss, but he didn't know that this was a plan to deceive him, so he can take all his money.
So as he's putting on the suit on his boss, somebody else takes the money.
Somebody else, snatches the money and bounces. Yeah.
Okay, this sounds familiar to the story with the kid, like Ruben mentioned.
Correct, with the menorah. Correct.
Who's at fault is the question?
Is the first guy, was he smart at what he did? I know the second guy is a thief, that's for sure. The second guy is a thief, what he did is wrong. That's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, in this circumstances, he was unaware that, the other guy was, premeditating a robbery, and he was helping his boss. So in my stance, I would say that he's not responsible for the money.
Besides the responsible for the money, let's say we're not speaking
about ethically, Rabbi.
I'm talking about ethically, correct. Was it correct of him to stop in the middle of the road or whatever it was to go and try to help his other employee out, the other employee out?
I don't think ethically, I don't think he was supposed to do that, because it wasn't like a life or death situation for the other employee.
Correct.
Right?
So basically,
yeah, I think that's a valid point. I think he left his station unattended, and it caused for that other person to reach for the money.
So you're going to say that this guy that left the money unattended is a moron?
Not that he's a moron.
I mean, he's a moron.
He should be subject to a violation, a big donation to House of Torah.
No, what about the donation right now? Bottom line is a moron. Jeff, bottom line is you don't do that. You don't do that. Yes or no?
Absolutely, agree.
They teach you when it comes to guns, they teach you, Jigarik, there should never be even an accident by shooting a microwave. You hear? There are rules. There's just rules in life that you should not do. One of the things, you don't leave money unattended.
Rav Igal, off topic. When you come down to Florida, I'll take you down to Homestead. You can train with us.
I mean, I'm training now. I mean, I don't have to come there to train.
It's a little bit more advanced.
Okay, I hear.
You gotta share some videos with him about what you do, Jeff. It's pretty cool.
We're starting to clear houses now. It's pretty cool. You get shot back, and that shit hurts.
You do it with the pellets?
Yeah, they do the pellets. They do the rubber.
That's what I was doing yesterday. Actually, we were clearing houses, and he was teaching us like active shooter, chas v'shalom, or how not to walk into a room because the gun can be taken away from you. So that's exactly what I was actually doing yesterday. But I'll tell you, it's not just to have a gun, but it's more even to know how to use one. It's a lot of responsibility.
Well, you got to learn the fundamentals of it first, right? You want to be comfortable carrying, right? You want to be able to stop the threat, whether you're covering yourself or you're covering others. So there's a lot that entails, especially when your adrenaline is rushing,
Yeah.
So if you're not going to continuously practice, all that goes out the window.
Yeah. In my wife's school, she's a teacher in Sharatzion. They practice before they start school. Chas v'shalom lo aleinu, what do you do if an active shooter walks into the school? What do you do with the kids? You never open the door. You no matter what, it's nuts. It's very scary what's going on in the world with all these people with gun violence and everything. It's nuts. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I want to just get back to the topic.
Back to the topic.
So guys, we can agree the guy's a moron or no?
Yes. Of course.
Salmi, you agree with me, Israel?
Yeah, I think so.
Rabotai, listen to this. Comes the Dubno of the Maggid of Dubno, and he says something powerful. He says a lot of us act just like that guy.
Wow.
That was really a parable. That story never happened. He says a lot of us come down to this world. We came down to this world to be able to fulfill the mission that God sent us on. Whatever each one might have, whatever each one has to know what he has to do in this world. I'm not here to preach to you what needs to be done. Everybody knows what needs to get done. But on the way while we're here, we get sidetracked by all the petty stuff, which is like the second employee. Because he knows by taking you away to do something else, that's not Torah and mitzvot, he's stealing you away from your life's purpose. Samnoj, you got it.
Right now, Rabbi. Huh? That ain't fair, Rabbi. That ain't fair. You just basically said we're all morons. I love
That's why listen. But in all honesty, when you look at it like that, the Yetzer Hara is like the second employee. He's always distracting us. Come, do this, do that. Try to help me over here. Try to do that. But at the same time, we take our eyes off the prize. Not how many of us think about Olam Haba at least once a day? You know that means, Jack, Olam Haba?
No. What does that mean?
The world to come. When a person dies, right, he leaves everything behind and he goes to the next world, to the world of souls.
Well, that's why their bones, the bones in the grave, they stay there, right? Because it's also like a recreation, of the person.
Correct. That's resurrection. Correct. The backbone.
Resurrection, yeah.
Of the neck. Correct. There was a joke that a husband died. Shigarik. He came to the afterlife. He was so happy. Then his wife died. She came and she says, "Babe, you're also here." He's like, "Listen, I remember the marriage contract. All it said, till death do us part. I don't know nothing up here."
But we're attached to them, no, Rabbi? For life.
Yeah. You're attached for eternity. Yeah. Some people don't like to hear it, but yeah. Yeah, but Rabotai, the point being, we need to understand that when we have an opportunity to be able to fulfill the will of Hashem, we want to try to do it with utmost concentration. And anything that gets in the way, you have to make sure you have to block it somehow. That's up to you right how to do it. And I want to ask you a question. Jack, can I ask you a question? Jack, you look serious.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
If a person, since you speak about guns, chas v'shalom, right? God forbid, chas v'shalom, if a person comes, let's say, I don't know, Ahmad came to Reuven with a gun to his head. He wants to kill him. What does the law say?
The law?
According to the Torah law. The Torah law.
I think I've heard this one before. I think you're allowed to kill the other person.
Right, you got to get up and you got to kill him before he kills you.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, Jeff, like this. That's only physically. And you're allowed to go. What happens when somebody wants to kill you spiritually, preventing you from doing mitzvot and learning Torah? You want to go down and somebody says, what do you need to put on tefillin today? For what? For what reason? You want to eat kosher. For what you have to eat kosher? Come on. You want to do the right thing. They say, for what you have to do the right thing? Have a good time. That's also in the sense that they're killing you spiritually. And that
what about when they, Rabbi Igal, sorry to cut you off. What about when they tell you, listen, you're doing this halfway, you're either all in or all out, but you do this, but you don't do this,
Wow. Powerful.
What's powerful?
I'll tell you why. He makes a very, very valid point, because then what happens is that when you say things like that to people like me or to Jack or not Jack, but me, that pushes us away. right? Like
Correct.
you say, oh, it's either all in or nothing. But
when
gotta
did
get
when did you
started.
hear me say all in or nothing?
No, Hash Shalom.
No. Listen,
Rabbi, never. You've never done that.
No, I'm asking.
Ruben,
I'm not
trying to say
understanding
is-
you.
What I'm trying to say is there's times where, people would make a comment, I don't want to, mention anyone's name or whatever, but, they say, oh, you hold the high holidays, but like you don't always eat kosher, or, you do certain things, but you don't keep Shabbat. So it's like, are you really battling within yourself? Are you all in or are you all out? My response is, I do what I am able to do or can do, and slowly, have a transitional period into what I feel comfortable with my higher power. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Right. So first of all, I'm not going to give anybody permission to, God forbid, chas v'shalom, go sin. Somebody actually asked me the other day, Rabbi, can you allow me to sleep with other girls? Whatever it was, he asked me, can you allow me? It's hard for him to control himself. He's like, Rabbi, can you please give me permission to sleep with other girls? There's such thing, whatever. I'm not going to get into it right now. I said, I cannot, God forbid, give a person permission to go against the Torah. But one thing I can say, the good deeds that you do, they don't go unnoticed. The bad deeds that you do, they also don't go unnoticed. Just because a person is bad doesn't mean he should do good. Or just because the person is doing good doesn't mean he's going to fall from time to time.
But some people judge you just...
Yeah, that happens though.
As, what do they say? You're just good as your last bat. So you can do 100 things right, but then the one thing that you do wrong, it's like they can always hold on to that. You know what I mean?
In the eyes of Hashem, it doesn't work like that. In the eyes of Hashem, when you do a mitzvah, you get rewarded for the mitzvah. When you do a sin, you get punished for the sin.
All I'm saying is,
go ahead.
It's very challenging when everybody's mixed with opinions and feelings and emotions and their own judgment on, Hashem or their God or the Torah. So there's a lot of mixed opinions here, and I feel like that's where all this controversy stems from. It's mixed opinions.
Let me ask you,
but not all sins are treated equally, right?
Beautiful. That's also good.
Eating a cheeseburger, God forbid, is. There are worse things in life than not keeping kosher and Shabbat, right?
Correct. But I want to
actually, Rabbi, go ahead, sorry.
But I want to ask you guys, Daniel and Jack. I want to ask you guys, Ruben, also. If we are sitting right now in a conference meeting with a surgical doctor, let's say a doctor who's been in the business for 40 years. And then he has interns, those residency, whatever, I don't know what you call those doctors, that they're becoming doctors. And each doctor or the residency, each one is giving their opinion to the doctor. And he's telling this is how it has to be done, and everybody has their own opinion, correct? Who are you going to listen to?
I mean, if a surgical doctor is educated, he's been through procedures.
I'm talking about top of the line
of performing the surgery. Then obviously we want to listen to him, right?
And correct. And all other opinions we don't take all other opinions into consideration. When you're dealing with the Torah, Jack, it's not an opinion. It's the only. I don't say the opinion. It's the only truth that there is. Anything that is said opposite or against the Torah is not even an opinion. It doesn't even come up to my mind to even think about it. For example, I'll give you one good example. I deal with a lot of times with a lot of couples, correct? So the girl always says, my mother-in-law says this. Since when did your mother-in-law become God that you're bothered by what she says? My husband does this. Big deal. But what about what God tells us to do? Are we perfect with Hashem that we're bothered by all the little things? So when you allow other opinions to dictate you like that, then it's going to be hard. But if you 100%, for example, Jack, I want to ask you a question. Maybe I should. You got it, man.
No, talk to me.
Okay, I'll talk to you, Jack. If I come to you and I convince you I have a nice girl for you, come, let's cheat on her. She's going to make you very happy. You going to listen to me? I come with
Probably
a black
not.
hat and peyot and a beard. Are you going to listen to me?
I mean, probably not.
Why not, Jack? Why? Because you're devoted to your wife. Because you don't want to destroy that. You got values. Same thing with the Torah. We're married to Hashem. Anything outside of it is only destroying that bond that we have with Hashem.
Correct. I agree with that.
So when you're telling me other people's opinions, it shouldn't even come into conversation because what they say doesn't really make a difference. Just like you understand when you have a surgical doctor and everybody else, the shoemaker's giving a doctor, how do you say, the advice on how to do a heart surgery. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
yeah,
I agree with you.
I agree also.
So therefore, the reason why it's hard for us to do the right thing is only because we're not 100% committed to Hashem. Now, understand me correctly. There's a book that's called, it's actually a verse in the Torah, Sheva Yipol Tzadik V'Kam, that a tzaddik, a righteous person, falls 7 times and gets back up 1 time. What does that mean, Jack? In order to become a righteous person, you gotta fall. You don't fall, you're not gonna get up.
You have to fail to be successful.
Exactly, you have to fail to be successful. But don't plan for failure, believe. If it happens,
Failure is not an option, Rabbi.
Yeah, I hear.
So what you're saying, Rabbi, is doing the wrong thing will get you to the right thing.
Right. It's like making those wrong
No,
turns.
it's not saying that.
But don't try to do the wrong thing.
Right, don't try. It's like, you're trying
I'm
to
in a
get
meeting, tell them to give me a
you're
few
trying to
minutes.
get from destination A to destination B and you get lost on the way. So use your ways, what do you call it? How do you do that? What do you do that when they reroute? Reroute yourself back to the right destination. And I'll tell you, Jack, I say this a lot of times. One of the hardest things for me to do, for example, is to say Shema before I go to sleep. Because I'm just very tired. I'm very tired at night. It's,
I don't believe you. I don't believe that you're so dedicated
Ask my wife. I'm
into
serious.
the Torah.
I'm very serious. And as much as I tell myself, tomorrow I'm going to say the whole thing and I'm going to make myself better, there'll be times I'll be able to do it. But there are times when, again, I just can't. It's not that I don't want to. I don't have the energy for it. That's the problem. I'm so tired. I'm
Rabbi.
serious. I'm serious.
What you just said is so powerful. And it just shows us that a person of your level
No, we all make mistakes.
Sometimes
We're not at the
misses. Who are we to try to be perfect?
Correct. We're not perfect. This is what people don't realize. We're not perfect. Jack, I'm going to tell you something. You're not going to believe it. I think I told this to Jigarik.
Yes,
I bought tefillin. Again, I wear 2 tefillins. I wear 1 Rabbeinu Tam, 1 Rashi. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna get into these laws right now. So I bought them close to, I'm talking about maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago. At that time I spent close to $5,000 on 2 tefillins. After wearing them almost a year, I think a year plus maybe, I got myself another pair of tefillin for close to 5,000 also. So I wanted to check my old ones. You want to hear this, Jack?
I'm listening to you, absolutely. What happened to
The
those old
sofer,
ones?
the scribe that checked my tefillin, said, Rabbi, you were wearing disqualified tefillin from the time you received it.
Why?
That means I haven't been putting on tefillin for at least a year plus. You know how upset I was? Yes, I was not upset of the fact that I spent money on it. I was upset I was able to put, whatever, it was a whole thing for me. It was bad. It was very bad. And one of the things that I had to get over it is like to purchase tefillin for other people. Like as if they're doing it on my behalf also.
Wow.
So again, we're not perfect, and anybody's going to tell you they're perfect, they're just lying. It's not. We make mistakes.
Rabbi.
I could, 1 second, I'm so sorry, Nathan. Was that Nathan? No, who's that? Nathan, yeah.
it was that.
I'm just going to tell you, when we daven Shemona Esrei, for example, you think I'm able to have kavanah throughout the all 18 prayers? Absolutely not, no. I barely could make it through the first 3. I'll be honest with you, barely make it through the first 3. Rabotai, it's not. Meaning again, but this is my battle. Baruch Hashem, I don't have any other battles like Hashem with girls or all these, not kosher food, beaches. I don't have that battle, Baruch Hashem. My battle is in the field of serving God, but that battle is a real battle for me, and that's what I try to work on day in, day out. Am I successful? Not, maybe not, but this is what I have to try to build my muscle on.
Amazing. By the way, Rabbi, I took a 40-day challenge from Rosh Chodesh to Yom Kippur. I'm doing mikvah 40 days straight, and I'm reading Tikkun Khalil also
Tikkun
40 days
Klali.
straight.
Very nice, beautiful, beautiful.
So let's see, you know,
Very
hopefully
nice,
I could get through it.
very nice. Nathan, what did you want to say?
I want to just, you reminded me of something very beautiful. Correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of people, what they misunderstand also is the more connected you get with Hashem, right? The more Kedusha you get, the more the Yetzer is going to work on you to get you down.
Correct.
So a lot of people think like if you're a rabbi or if you, let's say, like a Talmid Chacham, that you don't have a Yetzer. Even more so. It's like I'm about Shul myself. I'm trying my best, but I feel like the more I grow, the higher my desires.
100%. Nate, I'm with you on that. 100%. Gemara says, "Hakol gadol mechaver, yitzur gadol mehemeno." If you're greater than your friend in avodat Hashem, the Yetzar is greater than you in that aspect. So, Jack, you know what he's saying? Basically, I have a greater desire for women than certain men do. That's what Nathan is saying. Because the greater you become, the more the Yetzirah grows because it has to make you bigger. It's like lifting weights. You can't lift 20 pounds or 30 pounds. You gotta lift 300, 400 pounds according to your growth. So yes, it's that's how it works, by the way, Nathan. And you know, I'll tell you something. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Rabbi. I was saying the Satan doesn't have to work more hard on somebody if he already has them in his hands.
Correct, exactly. Yeah. Correct. You know, I was speaking to my wife. You know, people think, you know, just to sit and learn Torah is easy, correct, Jack? You don't understand what it means.
Not easy at all.
I don't want to use the word Gehenna, but you don't understand the trouble that I have to go through just to first sit down and open up a book. I love to learn Torah, but let me first get there. By the time I get there, you know how many obstructions. So therefore, I have to make the schedule that you could be my wife, you could be my father. You can't get in my way because once I get distracted, I'm distracted. That's it. My day is out the window. So I have to have a goal that what am I doing today? Until I don't finish this, don't bother me. This is how I work. Because otherwise, it's impossible. It's impossible.
Ruben, you look, you know, a lot inside, taking a lot.
You know, I got to tell you, one thing that I like about this entire this we learned session today is that Nathan tried to compare himself to a big tzaddik by saying the higher he goes.
No, but it's true.
Not at all.
No, but
Nathan
it's
is a big tzaddik.
Not at all.
no, but it's true.
But I'm talking from a perspective who's actually trying to do something.
You know, Nathan. You know, there was a rabbi by the Gaon Vilna. He was called the Gra. Jeff, you probably heard of him. Israel, you probably heard of him. So, Jack, if you could take a Chacham Ovadia, one of the greatest, take all the rabbis in our generation, and this one rabbi is bigger than them. He's humongous. You hear? You got it.
He's bigger than Rabbi Nachman.
Yeah, the Gaon Vilna was. He said if he would have lived 1,000 years, maybe he would have become 1% like the Rambam. Maybe. I'm talking about giant. I mean, Rav Nachman is a humongous giant in his own right, but the Gaon Vilna is a giant. So you know what they told him, Jack? To listen to this, what they told him. All he did was learn Torah. You hear with me, Jigarik? In his four corner, you know, in the wall. That's it, all day learning in the study hall. Salmi, you know what they told him? One student came out. He's like, Rabbi, I wish I had your evil inclination, where I can sit and learn Torah like this without any distraction. The rabbi said, if you would have my inclination, you wouldn't survive for 1 second. You would have died on the spot making a vera, because that's how much of my inclination is much more bigger. This is it. Listen, the bigger you are.
So wait, hold on a second, Rabbi. So you're saying that because of his level of tzaddikim, right? That's the word?
Right, because he was
he
high.
has more negative thoughts and bad
the
thoughts.
The Yetzirah's job, correct, is not much more, is that much more powerful over him now.
Wow.
So it's possible that while he's learning Torah, he's thinking negative things.
So that's all beauty. When you're learning Torah, that prevents you from thinking negative things. You can't do, because you can't think two things at one time.
So that's why he was studying. And
correct. That's why you always have to be occupied. Wow. That's if you pay attention, Jack. The Torah says a man should daven 3 times a day. Learn Torah in his free time. Go to work. Put on tefillin. Do this. Why? Because the second you leave us unattended, you got it. That's it. Our minds are going to run loose.
You know what's amazing? You know Rav Tatka?
Yeah.
In the street?
Yeah.
It's amazing. Every time he walks on the street, he always looks down. And I'm like, why is he looking looking down.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then somebody
Rav
told me
Tzadka's-
because of that area where he's sitting, where he's walking, he does not want to see something that he's not supposed to see.
Yeah, yeah,
He passed by my father-in-law one time. My father-in-law just moved over there. He passed by him. He stops in the corner and he says to somebody, "Can you call this man over here?" And my father was like, "What does he want from me?" He said he calls him over and he's like, "Your tefillin is not kosher." He's like, "What?" Just by passing by him.
yeah. Wow.
Crazy how spiritual like a
Yeah,
person
yeah.
could
No,
be.
Rav Tzadka is very big. He's very big. He's very big. He's humongous. He's humongous. Anyway, Rabotai, the point we want to see today is that we all get sidetracked here and there, but we want to try to, you get sidetracked, 10% of the time, 20%, but not 100% of the time. You understand? You have to be able to control yourself. I'm going to conclude with this. Whenever you ride a horse, you have the reins to the horse, correct? Yes, you guys are with me?
Yeah,
Rav Chaim brings a story that there was once a rich guy. He was driving in a horse, meaning he had a wagon and he had a what do you call it? The reins to the horse, and there was a beggar, and he was saying, "Can you please help me? Can you please help me?" So the rich guy felt bad. He said, "Okay, come into the wagon." He said, "No, I want to ride the horse. Here's you got it. I want to ride the horse." He said, "Why do you want to ride the horse? Just sit in the wagon." No, I want to hold on to the reins. When he got to the city where people don't know him, once he got to the city, he started acting crazy. He said, "This guy over here is trying to rob me." So now who are you going to trust? You got it. The rich guy or the pauper? You don't know who to trust. He says, "This is my horse. I'm holding on to it."
Right.
The Rav Chaim says, as long as you hold on to the reins of your neshama, meaning your soul, you are in control. The second you let it go to the Yetzer Hara, he's in control, and he could direct you wherever he wants. You want to be able to hold on to the reins of the neshama, and a lot of times we let it go, and sometimes, Jack, we let.
How do we hold on? How do we hold on?
You be the man in the
How do we
house.
hold on?
You be the man in the house.
But Rabbi, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's also so much, aside of getting sidetracked, there's also a lot of tumor that could pull the person in, right? Sometimes, like, let's say you're a regular working guy, you go on the train station, you go have dinner with somebody. You never know what energy you receive. That could also lead you to sin, no?
100%, yes, 100%. Chazal tell
The
us.
only thing that can lead you to sin is your mind. It's the most
No,
powerful
but Jack,
thing.
Jack, he's saying
If you're
something.
able to control your
Jack,
mind.
he's saying something powerful. Have you ever sat in a restaurant and all of a sudden you start thinking about girls? Did it ever happen to you?
Sure, why not? It's only.
But I'm saying,
normal.
but
I mean,
you're not.
if I'm in a scene.
No, but you're not really thinking about it. But you're with everything is normal, and all of a sudden you start thinking about a certain girl. You know why? Because it's called why.
Not like that. But yeah, sometimes I mean it's our natural defense where your imagination can start playing.
Jack,
you think about other things.
So Jack, I'll tell you, it's Wi-Fi. The person next to you that's sitting, if he's thinking about something improper, that can actually transfer over to your mind.
Really?
Yeah. That's why negativity, what Nathan's saying, is very bad. You could, how they say, the Gemara says, if you want to be rich, rub your shoulders with rich people. You want to be poor, have friends that are poor. You want to be smart, have friends that are smart. You want to be stupid, have friends that are stupid.
Yeah, the Gigantic is 1,500 miles away. I can't rub my shoulders with him.
That's why I'm still here.
But on another note, I just want to share something that was very powerful that I saw on YouTube. And it was, I have his link, 1 second. He talks about the mind, and he's a mindset mentalist. He goes by the name of Rob Dial.
Okay.
When you get a minute, just Google some of his videos or go on YouTube. It's Rob Dial, and he's a mindset mentor. So it teaches you how to, really be, in control of your mind. It's pretty cool.
I hear. Okay. Okay, if you guys have any questions, we'll take. If not, we'll end today.
Rabbi, you would really like it. Yeah, Rabbi, you never gave us the right answer. So he's the moron. He left the register unattended. What happens?
Yeah, you mean he left the money unattended? Yeah, so
Yes.
the Maggid of Dubno says that's all of us. That we're the morons that we leave our mitzvot and Torah unattended and we attend to trivial matters. That's that the guy in the picture is really us. He was painting a picture to show how not smart we are in the way we behave. We leave what's important and we go after things that are not important. You know, the Rav Chaim had a rule: if you want to be successful, Jigarik, always go after things that are going to last forever.
Like the tangible real estate assets.
That's in business. But in Torah and mitzvot are eternity. Torah is eternity. Kindness is eternity. Being a good midot, having a refined character. Anything which is lasting forever, go after it. Things that are not lasting, don't waste your time on it.
Like they say, you build the house brick by brick, Rabbi.
Yeah. You know, I want to just conclude with this. You know, there's Gemara Masechet Barachot. It says that if a person takes wise strides, he can lose basically 1 over 500 of his eyesight. Let's say if you have 500% eyesight, but taking wise strides like the normal step that you usually take, you could lose you lose your eyesight. You hear? So I forgot the name of the rap.
What do you mean by taking the normal steps?
You know, when you walk, a person walks normal, right? You walk like normally.
Okay.
Like maybe you have a foot between the first foot and the last foot.
Okay.
But when a person is like, he's taking those big steps as if he's trying to, not running, but when he's taking like a big stride, you lose a fifth, 1 over 500 of an eyesight you lose.
In other words, gentlemen, slow down when you're walking.
No, so why am I telling you this one? Rabbi wants to say something beautiful, because this is what you just said, brick by brick. One of the reasons he says a lot of people fall from religion, why a lot of people don't maintain that momentum, is because when it comes to religion, they take that stride, they jump into it, but then when they fall, it's not just one step, they fall back also hard. So you have to know when it comes to religion, it's not taking that jump, taking that leap. You gotta do it step by step. You gotta build your momentum in Avodat Hashem, also in the service of God. When you build your momentum little by little, and I've seen it in myself also, when I became religious, you know, I was overly religious, and then little by little I had to, you know, a lot of things I had to throw away because I was doing it out of ignorance, not because the law required me to do it. So it's never good to jump into a religion just like that. You have to want to build your momentum. You want to have to be able to do it step by step. That's what you were trying to say, Jack.
Okay. So,
Very well said, Rabbi Igal. Thank you so much for today's class. I will definitely be seeing you tomorrow.
No problem.
I do gotta run. I have somebody here.
No problem.
But thank you so much.
No problem.
I really
I'll
appreciate
see
it.
everyone.
But Rabbi Igal, we have holidays coming up.
Yes. We started Elul. You started Slichot?
Started Slichot. I think we're starting Slichot here. And I saw something in the group chat like first week of September.
Bezrat Hashem. We'll speak about Slichot tomorrow. Bezrat Hashem.
Okay, good. I want to get more in tune with this.
Yes. No problem. Bezrat Hashem.
All right. Thank you, Jigari.
Rabbi,
No problem,
thank
guys.
you.
I'll see you guys.
Love you guys.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
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 Thank you, Rabbi.